Have you ever just stopped and wondered how we learn languages? I don't mean in a classroom with textbooks. I mean how we really learn them, naturally, the way a child does. It can feel like some kind of magic, right? But it's not. It's actually a machine. And today, we're going to demystify that incredible language learning machine that's already built right inside your head. You know the feeling. We've all been there. You put on a foreign movie, or you step off a plane in a new country, and what you hear is, well, it's just noise, right? It's this continuous, overwhelming wall of sound, and it feels impossible to even tell where one word ends and the next one begins. So how on earth does our brain take that total chaos and somehow start to pull meaning out of it? Okay, so we're starting with this total flood of sound. Let's dig into how your brain systematically transforms all that noise into a structured, meaningful language. So here's the big idea, the key shift in perspective. Your brain isn't just passively listening. Nope, it is an active decoding machine, and it's always working, right below the surface of your conscious mind. It's literally hardwired to find patterns, to create structure, and to build a language completely from scratch. And the crazy thing is, this isn't some system you have to learn how to use. It's one you've had your whole life. It's subconscious, it's incredibly powerful, and as we're about to see, it follows a very, very precise process. All right, so how does this amazing decoding machine actually do its job? Well, it turns out it operates in 5 clear steps. This is the blueprint for how your brain builds an entire language from the ground up. First up, step 1, the sound scan. Think of your brain like a bouncer at a really busy club. It's listening to every single sound that tries to get in, but it only really pays attention to the ones it hears over and over and over again. All the rare one-off sounds, it just ignores them. It's basically separating the important stuff, the signal, from all the useless background noise. Okay, next up, step 2. Your brain starts building chunks. All those sounds that kept repeating, it starts bundling them together. So a sound like bonjour stops being 2 random syllables and becomes one solid single unit. It's the very first step toward identifying what might be a word. And this is where it gets really cool. Step 3 is finding the borders. That continuous stream of noise we talked about, your brain automatically starts to hear the spaces between those sound chunks. Without you doing anything, that wall of sound starts to break apart into a sequence of distinct, separate units. Now for step 4. This is where it all clicks into place, linking sound to meaning. Your brain is an absolute master of association, a pro at connecting the dots. When it hears one of those sound chunks at the same time it sees something happening, it forges a powerful connection. It links the sound pattern to a real-world action. But here's the kicker. This is not a one-and-done deal. That link gets forged and then strengthened by repetition. So you hear the French word manger one time while you see someone eating, it's a pretty weak link. But you hear it 10 times, 20 times, 100 times, well, that connection becomes rock solid. The sound now literally means the action in your mind. And finally, step 5. This is where the whole process goes into overdrive. Your brain turns into a prediction engine. Based on all the patterns it's already logged, it starts guessing what word or sound is going to come next. And every single time it guesses right, that connection gets stronger, and your learning just accelerates like crazy. So this entire incredible automatic 5-step process that you've had since the day you were born, it actually has a name. Scientists call it statistical learning. Now, don't think of this as some new technique you have to go out and learn. It's not. It's your brain's native operating system. It is the exact same superpower that allows a tiny baby to acquire their first language absolutely perfectly without ever taking a single grammar lesson. You've had this your entire life. So if we all have this amazing machine just running in the background, that's fantastic to know, right? But the real question is, how do we consciously tap into it as adults? How do we turn the machine on? Well, you don't really need a classroom or a textbook. In fact, a lot of the time, those things actually work against this natural system because they're feeding you these isolated rules and vocabulary lists. What your brain really needs are the right conditions. You just need to give it a rich, continuous, and understandable signal to get its statistical engine humming. And you know what the best signal generator on the planet is? Immersive media. Watching a film or a TV series in another language works so well because it doesn't just give you words. It gives you a world. It feeds your brain 4 essential ingredients all at the same time. You get the sound of the language, of course. You get the sight of the actions, which gives the sound meaning. You get the emotion from the story, which basically supercharges your memory. And you get the context of the whole situation, which lets your brain predict and understand. It is the perfect meal for your learning machine because it perfectly mimics how we all learned our very first language, through experience, not through instruction. And once you really get this, it leads to this huge, powerful shift in how you think about learning a language. It really is time to stop studying and instead start building. Think about it. The old way was trying to memorize abstract grammar rules out of a book. The new way, the natural way, is to simply feed your brain rich, understandable input and just let its powerful pattern matching system build the language for you from the inside out. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Trust the process. Stop trying to fight against your brain's natural tendencies and start working with them, because your brain's native language is learning. Just let it do what it does best. Which really just leaves us with one last thought. If your brain is already the perfect language learning machine, the only question left to ask yourself is, what language are you going to let it build next?